Why does camp ministry matter? In today's video, I got to talk about that question exactly with a friend of mine who is a camp director in the city where I'm a youth pastor. We have that coming up next. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm super excited because today I have the opportunity to have a conversation with a good friend of mine who also happens to be the director of Bayside Camp, a camp which is in the area that I live, Halifax. What's going on, Josh?
Not much, man.
Who are you? For anybody who doesn't know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Joshua Throop, and I have the privilege of serving as the executive director out at Bayside Camp down in Sambro, Nova Scotia, just south of Halifax.
Cool, man. Well, I have 3 quick questions for you for today's video, all centered around camp ministry. I know that this is something that you're passionate about. It's definitely something that I'm passionate about. So my first question for you is this: what got you started in camp ministry? When did you get started, and what got you started in the first place?
So I've been involved in camps for most of my life. My parents were seasonal camp directors when I was a kid, actually up on the North Shore of Nova Scotia. There was actually a point where I was in high school still, and I'd only ever spent one summer, I think, away from a summer camp. So I had a lot of history just going to summer camps with my parents and attending summer camps and that kind of stuff, and started working in high school at a retreat place in Ontario at a marina, and went back just after high school to work at a summer camp in leadership there, and did a few other kind of outdoor ed-like jobs after that, and kind of left for a while, went to seminary for a little bit, built houses for quite a few years, and then it just kind of, we ended up here at Bayside through very much kind of God circumstances, just somebody knew somebody, and it all just kind of landed here, and a lot of life skills that kind of led to camp ministry, and it ended up being a really great fit.
Cool. What was it about camp ministry initially that kind of caught your heart?
I love camp ministry because it's just kind of outside of the regular rhythm. It's I mean, we could talk statistics about how summer camp is really an impactful place for kids, particularly in leadership and staff programs, where trajectories of lives and faith are really affected in massive ways. But I think that's because it's such an amazing spiritual community that we have the potential to really model what a spiritual community looks like as we live together. We talk a lot about at Bayside that we, even with campers, that we value this place as a family, and kind of we live together for a week at a time or a summer at a time, and do life together centered around God and His principles, and just kind of being outside, away from cell phones, away from the kind of things that weigh us down in the world sometimes, can just have an amazing impact on kids' lives.
That's awesome. So for anybody who's watching, be it a youth pastor, a youth leader, really anybody on the other side of the camera, what would you say is, like, why is camp ministry important?
I think camp ministry is important because it can be a catalyst. We like to look at camp ministry as kind of a piece to the local church cycle.
Right.
You talk about youth group potentially from September all the way around to May, June time.
Yeah.
And then summer camp as a staff or just as a camper has the potential to really push kids ahead as far as just spiritual depth and spiritual maturity. We give kids and staff members responsibilities that they would never have in normal lives, and that pushes them outside of their boundaries. And then we see the amazing ways that they can then go back into a local church, youth group, or other, and serve and use those skills to really impact their friends and their schools and their work. And then, hopefully the ideal is that it keeps cycling through. They come to camp and have an amazing experience, and we push them back into a local church context where they can use and apply those skills, and then the learning that they see there comes back to camp, and then goes back to the church, and comes back to camp, and goes back to the church, and it just continues on.
That's awesome. I know we definitely have seen a number of students who have gone through your guys' programs come back into our youth ministry in the fall, and a lot of the times it seems like something crazy had happened to them over the summer, where they just come back with a different mindset. They have more ownership. They've grown in their faith in a number of ways. So if you are watching wherever you are, I would encourage you, if you're a youth pastor, if you're a youth leader, find a local camp to start partnering with and sending your students to, because it definitely makes a huge impact in their lives. All right, last question, and I'm really excited to hear what you have to say for this. We know that camp is a fun place. We also know that camp can be a crazy place where lots of crazy things happen. If you had 1 or 2 examples, what are the funniest or the craziest stories that you've ever experienced at camp, whether that's as a student, as a leader, or as a camp director?
I don't even know. Camp is just crazy all the time. I mean, you ask any of our staff, it's just kind of nuts. And the thing about camp and being in camp ministry, particularly in leadership, is that it's kind of all over the place. So even like this year, we had a walk-in fridge fail in the middle of the summertime. We had our septic system fail in the middle of the summertime. We'll have, you know, pieces of our aqua park randomly float away in the night.
Oh no!
And then on the personal aspect, you know, we deal with very serious things like, you know, cases of abuse and walking with kids through mental health.
Right.
All the way to seeing, you know, half of a camp come to Jesus in one night, and just the amazing impact.
Right.
So there's crazy things in the negative side, and there's amazing crazy things in the positive side, and it all just kind of smashes into one crazy puzzle. But
that's awesome. Well, I know I can at least speak for myself. I think that I would be speaking for many youth workers around the country, around, I mean, all of the world, in saying that we're thankful for people like you who do the kind of work that you do at summer camp year in and year out. We know that it makes a huge impact, and I just want to say, for anybody watching, find a local camp, start partnering with the people who are working there, see if there are new ways you as a local church and them as a camp can start working together. I really think that special things can happen when the local church and when campgrounds, Christian campgrounds, start to work together. And hey, if you're in the Halifax area, if you're watching and you're a parent, if you're a student, if you're a youth pastor, consider partnering with Bayside Camp this year. Who knows what could happen? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.